Hello everyone, welcome to another Dice Down Under stream. I have a special guest star with me today.
Hey!
I have Becca. Instead of Chunky. Chunky's currently away. He's on a trip down towards Sydney. And he'll be playing up against Guns next Thursday in a Battle of 5v5. So Dice Down Under versus the Judgement stream. So stay tuned for that one on the Judgement channel. That's going to be on Thursday night. Cool. Starting off tonight, I don't have too much in the way of news. So we're going to probably move on pretty quickly through that. First off, the painting competition. We've had George now submit a model for the painting competition, which looks really cool. So thank you very much for that, George. I believe he's in stream. Yeah, no, can't be worse than Chunky. In fact, you might say she's a lot better looking.
Aww.
So that's a good start. So yeah, thank you very much, George, for submitting your paint job. Looking forward to seeing a lot more come in as the competition moves forward. I've been doing some painting on my own. I ended up finishing off Cavato. Now I'm not sure if I showed this off last stream. I might have. I do not remember. But that's him there. Hopefully the camera autofocuses it a little better than it did last time. And I ended up painting the bag and the little rat behind there. It resembles a rat that I've actually got myself. The other thing I've been painting recently is Piper. So I finished off Cavato, and I've been started on Piper earlier in the week. So I ended up painting him Tuesday. So yeah, I've only just painted really the base of it. I haven't done much to Piper himself. Trying to get the cobblestone looking quite worn and weathered. You know, mainly by rain, so trying to give it a bit more of a wet stone look. And then as you can see Piper there, I've only sort of just started him, but haven't done much to him. I'm hoping to do quite a lot more as I go on. So hopefully I'll have more time this week, which would be fantastic. Beck has the heart of the dice. Chunky does not. Yeah. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Last couple of times I've played Chunky, he's rolled quite terribly. Chunky is a handsome man, excellent taste in a fat guy hat. Yeah, he's got a lot of fancy hats that he likes to wear. And he brings those on stream quite often. I'm just going to shift myself around just a little bit so I'm a bit more in front of the camera. Alrighty, moving on, that's painting. Tonight we're doing a newbie night. So for anyone who hasn't played the game before, this is going to be a video that I put up on our YouTube channel, basically stating newbies can watch this sort of game and hopefully learn from it. Down below in Twitch, you'll see our Judgement cheat sheet. You can click on that, and that takes you to a link to the PDF file that goes through. It's quite good to have for whenever you're teaching someone new to play. It's got some handy little reminders of the game rules, plus just set things up nicely. So it's makes it a lot easier to understand the game. So I'm actually just going to quickly run through some of what's on the cheat sheet. So if you want to download it and follow along, by all means do that. So we're playing, the game is called Judgement, and it's it's here quite in front of us on the table. It consists of either 3 heroes versus 3 heroes or 5 heroes versus 5 heroes, and it's very much a MOBA based tabletop game. The idea of the game is to destroy your opponent's effigy. These, in this case, being the 2 effigies. They've got a total of, in a 3v3 game, which is what we'll be just demonstrating tonight, a total of 16 hit points. And each soul you collect, well, the objective is to collect souls, reduces the health of the effigy by 4 points. The other way of winning the game is actually by destroying your opponent's effigy. So you'll have to do the amount of damage minus the each of the souls that you've got. So if you've got 3 souls, then the effigy has 4 hit points remaining. Go up and smack it and destroy it. That's the other way of destroying the effigy. In the game, you've got your heroes. They have 3 actions each that they can perform. Where X really is the well, next to actions there'll be a number corresponding to how many actions something costs. So, for example, to swing Thorgar's axe, that costs him 1 action. And I'll get into that in a moment anyway. So a movement is 1 action. An attack is 1 action. A charge, unless you're Thrommel, in which case an attack is 2 actions. Because he's got a dirty big hammer. Big ass band hammer. And it will, it takes a bit to swing around. So it takes him, he's got to put a lot of effort into what he swings at. That being said, whatever he swings at gets hit like a truck. Yeah, I do make the rules sound exciting to it. They're amazing. You should go, and I encourage anyone to read them because they're exciting as I make them sound. The attack costs 1 action unless you're Thrommel. A charge will cost you 2 actions. However, in the charge, you can move an extra 3 inches on top of your normal movement. So if you've got a movement of 4, you add 3 onto that. It gives you a total movement of 7. Not only that, it also gives you 2 extra dice to perform your first attack with. Lastly, is how you actually acquire souls. So there'll be souls spawning on the table, and that costs you 2 actions to pick those souls up. And those souls are what's gonna win you the game. The other way of collecting souls is by killing enemy heroes. Once you kill an enemy hero, you collect their soul. At the same time, there are also ways to lose souls, so you got to watch out for those. Mainly by your hero dying while he's carrying a soul. Once again, we'll get into that a little bit down our stream. Okay, now moving on, we're just gonna throw up the cards here. Oh, sorry about that. Technical difficulties. You have those, particularly when you're guns. I hope he's watching. He's probably not. I think he said he wasn't going to watch our stream anymore. Don't know why.
No,
we're delightful and pleasant people. I see nothing wrong with what we do or say. Okay. Moving on. So this is what your hero card will look like. At the top, next to your portrait, underneath your name, you've got some stats, some starting stat lines. Movement is how far you can move. So in this case, Zyvera, she moves 4 inches. You also have her agility. Now this will come later when you're actually rolling against an opponent. Their agi comes into play, and that's how agile they are at trying to dodge your attack. You've got res. In this case, I don't believe, no, she does not. Zyvera doesn't have any res, but that will block a bit of the damage that comes at you. Down below that, we've got then melee. This is how many dice you get when you're performing a melee attack. And that goes against the agility. So in this case, if Zyvera was hitting, for example, Zyvera, not charging, she would have 6 dice base, and then a -4 off that agility, which gives you a total of 2 dice. Next is your magic. This is how powerful your magic is. Once again, it's the same sort of thing, though magic is generally performed at a range. So in this case, Ivera, her magic is 7, minus the 4. For example, she was making a ranged attack against another character that was agility 4. She would have a total of 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got your range stat after that. So if you're, for example, there's a character called Alan Deere who has a bow and arrow, his stat will be range. And they operate a little bit differently. I won't get into too much about how they do. But yeah, that's there. They come in later effect into the game. Okay, below that you'll see her attack. It costs her 1 action, and then it's got the stats after it as to the amount of damage that does. So if, for example, if the stat line is 2, 3, 4, you do that much damage. If the character you're hitting has res, then it's minus that off the res. You'll see how it goes when we start to play the game, and it'll all become a bit more clear. Below that on the character card you have the hit points. That's how many hit points they have. You'll notice on the card as well you've got L2 and L3. That's once they get to level 2 and level 3. Then their health pool increases. Alright, on the other side of the card, directly to the, I guess it's the right or the left. I don't know which on this because I'm probably looking at it as a mirror. You've got a few different abilities here. So you have, starting with innate abilities. These, sorry, seeing if I've got a card here I can quickly bring up just so I can follow along. Very professional as usual. There we go. So you've got innate abilities, which are abilities that are ongoing through the game. So Zyvera has her innate ability is regeneration. The way regeneration 2. So at the very start of the next turn, it's during the phases, Zyvera will heal 2 hit points. Then you've got your active abilities. A lot of these will cost you an action to use, or they'll cost you a fate, or they'll cost you both, a fate and an action to do. So Zyvera, for example, has blood for blood, or go down a bit further, corrupted bond. That one in particular does damage to one of your friendly heroes and then to an enemy hero. And they're different abilities that will help you through the game. Then you've got the next card, which is your level. So level 1 and level 2 and then level 3. And they give you an extra either active ability, an innate ability, or something that just gives you a bonus. Zaffin, for example, gives you an innate ability which allows you to target a specific race, and that race you do extra damage to for the entire game. And then the last card is your it's just a general classifications card. It will clarifies a few things for you. So if you, for example, your character does poison, then it will tell you exactly what poison does. But once again, we can get those into that later on. So that's the cards and that help you play the game. You can also download Warband Manager for Android, and that helps you. That gives you all the cards free. The cards and the rulebooks you can download on the Judgement.game website, and you can print off and play the game without actually even purchasing the minis to see if you like it. So really trying to encourage people to pick up the game. It's quite a lot of fun. Anyway, last thing I'll go through are the dice. So the dice have got a few different symbols on them. That's actually a J and not an L. A J is a hit and a special. You've got your swords, which are a hit, which hit your target. And then you've got the special. The specials allow you to perform certain abilities like combat maneuvers. That's the other thing I probably didn't mention on the cards. Combat maneuvers, for example, applying poison with your attack. The specials help you with that. The J is basically a special and a hit, so it's both. And then the other sides of the dice are blank, which we like to roll a lot. More dice you have, the higher chance you'll actually perform a hit. So you could roll a total of 4, 5 dice, but you only ever choose 3. So whatever you grab, you choose 3 dice, whatever you happen to roll, and that's what you effectively use. Without further ado, I think that's enough sort of rules explaining at the moment. I'll quickly show what map we are playing, because each game you plays on different maps. Different maps have different monsters. Monsters also affect the game, and we'll get into that as we play our game. We're just covering the basics with the start here. So the map. So today we're playing map 2 with the 3v3. And we've got a gloom sitting sort of smack bang in the middle. Opposite side of that is a shrine. A soul pit sits over near gloom, so it makes him come into play quite a bit in this scenario. And this is the cardboard map, I'll point out as well. It's not the neoprene one that we're playing on today. The neoprene one allows you to play all the maps basically on one map for your 3v3, which is really cool. And it means you only have to purchase one map, which is quite handy. Although if you want to play on with the different terrain, the cardboard ones are quite good too. Quite a lot of fun. Right.
I do like the drinking game.
That's actually quite a good game to. I think that'd be a fun one to play. So whenever we stuff up in rules or in our techno bullshittery, you take a drink, which would happen quite often. So that would be pretty cool. It's a good drinking game. Right. So today, when demonstrating a game for a new player, what we often like to do is request that player make, particularly if you've got the first wave 1 of the heroes, make a selection of 2 heroes at different races. So we'd ask them generally to pick 2 heroes, but in this case for today, Beck's just going to pick 2 heroes that she likes. So if you go ahead and pick your 2, whichever ones you like.
I really like Rakia.
So Rakia, Beck loves Rakia.
Yeah, only because I roll well with him.
She's effectively rolled poison every time she's played him, and just gone nuts with the toxin ability.
Yep.
It's quite fun. Rakia is very much your roguish sort of character. Okay, who else would you like to choose?
I've never played Cruel before.
Haven't played Cruel?
Yeah, I want to give him a go.
Cruel's a once again, so Beck's chosen 2 orcs in this case. And Cruel's a soul gazer, so soul gazers are really good at picking up souls. Rakir's an aggressor, so he's really good at killing people. And then normally I would make a selection for her. In this case, given that she's chosen an aggressor and a soul gazer, I would then give her a defender to choose. If you would like to choose another hero, doesn't have to be a defender in this case. It's just normally that's how we play it. That gives the new player an idea of exactly what different roles there are. Becca's had a few games at this now, so just she can pick whatever she likes.
Yeah, I like Thrommel.
She likes Thrommel. Thrommel's good. Has 2 res and that big hammer I spoke of earlier. Costs him a little bit more to swing it, but it's quite painful when it hits. So I'm going to make a decision now. I'm going to choose a couple of characters to play. I'm going to choose Piper as my aggressor, as I haven't played Piper in a while and I want to give him a crack. I will choose... Who do I want to choose? Cavato's a bit of a hybrid. He can play a tank or an aggressor side. As soon as you get him a level, he gets that 1 res, and you can generally up his agility to make him a bit more of a tank and stay alive. But I'm going to choose Cavato today to show off Cavato. And then I'm going to want to compete with... Ooh, yeah, Dwarven Ale. That's a good one. I'm going to want to compete with Becca for Soul Gazing. So I'm also going to choose a Soul Gazer. I'm going to choose Saiyan.
Ooh.
Which is one of Beck's favourites.
Yes, she is. Super Saiyan.
Super Saiyan. Which leaves out Thorgar. Now, Thorgar's a big hitter. And he hits quite hard. He's quite fun to play. Laurie Bella. She shoots, but she offers quite a bit of support to your team, including healing. She gives bonus movement to people that are close by. She's quite powerful. And underrated in my opinion. Astariel is very nasty. She's got a long range and shoots fire at people, which is quite nasty. And Don Ricard, he is just a tank. He just sits there and he is the beast. Okay, now that you can see the map a little bit better, these, once again, are effigies. I didn't explain the shrine. The shrine, what it does is if... I'm just going to make an adjustment. Hold on. Technical difficulties. Yep, I'm good.
Twiddles thumbs.
Cool. There you go. There's a drink for you, taught. Yeah. So now we don't have the auto zoom. Hooray. Okay, so we've got our shrine over here. If you control that, and by control it, there's nobody within 2 inches of it other than one of your own characters, you're going to get D3 worth of Fate. Fate helps you perform special abilities. They allow you to reroll dice. They're quite powerful. They're very nice to have. You get Fate by shrines and from monsters. Speaking of monsters, today we have Gloom. This Gloom was provided by George. George in Holland. Thank you very much. They've been very useful and quite a lot of fun. And then far over on this side, this is where our soul is going to be spawning. It hasn't spawned yet. It doesn't spawn until start of next turn. And I believe there's only 1 on this map. I will just double check that, even though I had the maps up just a moment ago. Yes, there is just the 1 soul pit. And it will spawn up at the start of our 2nd turn. So at the start of the game, we both start with a Fate each. We roll off to see who goes first. Roll a 5. And of course, Becca rolls a 6. So you get to choose what you'd like to do. At least that's the way we're going to play it today. Would you like to go first, or would you like to go second?
I'll probably go second so I can watch you.
Second's not a bad option, particularly in a 3v3. Well, you can keep an eye on that shrine and try to take it for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So we set up our deployment. Our deployment, there's a sort of a greyish line here. Yep, you can see it. Good. There's a line here. You start within this deployment zone down here. Now my effigy starts in the center here, sort of partly in. If I touch it base to base, I can spend a fate and buy an item. We're not going to play with items today. We're just going to play the game as it is, without purchasing items. Okay, so you've got a gloom. I am deployed, so you may deploy your team.
You are.
And you can stop laughing at me.
Deployed?
I am deployed. Deployed?
I thought you were Mariloid.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Oh, so already done?
Mhm.
Now, keep in mind, when you're deploying, if you deploy close to the shrine, you've got to then move around it. It is a big object, so yeah, sitting out wide can be good. That way you don't have to pivot around. Can make charge lanes a lot easier to perform. Okay. I don't like the fact that Rakia is right there. Because it's going to leave either one of my characters open to get attacked, or he's going to take and kill Gloom. Sorry, I was going to find my characters. I got Piper and Cyan.
Thank you.
What was the comment? Yes, well. Sure.
Poison.
So I'm going first, aren't I?
Yes, you are.
Alright, so Cavato, for example, here, he's got a movement of 4. And then if I choose a reach of 2 inches, so that does come into play as well. So as you can see, I am more than 7 inches away from Gloom. If I actually move that shrine for a moment, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. But I have a 2-inch reach. So my reach is 2 inches. So I can quite easily hit Gloom from here. And I don't have to go the full distance. So I am going to charge Gloom, but I'm going to stay just under 2 inches away from him. And I'm going to hit him. So Cavato is melee of 6. Gloom is an agility of 4. So I'm minus 4 dice off. And then I get 2 more for charging. So I'll have a total of 4 dice in this case. So I'm going to roll for this and hope I can actually move him away a little bit. I don't do much in the way of damage. I ended up rolling a hit symbol and a push. So my lowest is a glance, which is 2 damage. I'll do 2 damage to Gloom. And I get to move him an inch. So I'm just going to move him an inch into the forest. And then I'm going to have 1 more attack at him. Now, this is... now that I'm no longer charging, I go back to my 6 dice. He's still AG4. That did not change. So I'm minus 4 dice off. And I now only have 2 dice. So I'm hoping I can roll something with this 2 dice. I did roll something. I rolled a J. So I do another 2 damage, which isn't much. But I get to push him once again another inch. And I will push just here.
Are monsters affected by forest?
They are not affected by the forest. They move through it, particularly Gloom. He's a bit more of a shadowy beast, so he moves through quite quickly. Now, normally Gloom would be able to hit me back if I was within 1 inch of him, because he's only got a 1 inch reach. I have managed to stay away from him. I am out of the 1 inch. And that's it. So he's not going to hit me back. If I'd gone in too close, he'd hit me back and probably hurt quite a lot. So he's only got 4 hitboxes left, which gives Beck a good opportunity to kill Gloom. I did not do enough damage to him, and I did not move him enough to really get what I wanted. So, Beck, it's over to you, and I'll let you decide what you would like to do.
Thinking about. Can you charge and then use the magic?
No, so
which is within.
you.
Oh no, it's within 2.
Yeah, so if you're within 2,
Yeah.
which you will be, you would have to use your cudgel to attack. So you can't perform a magic attack in close combat.
Okay.
Difference between melee and magic, unless of course you're Sand, because that's her ability. Her magic is her melee attack.
Okay.
But you could certainly do that with Cruel. You could charge in and do some damage. Cruel doesn't do a great deal of damage compared to Rakir. But yeah, that's up to you.
Rakir's only got 1 inch though.
Rakir does only have 1 inch, so you would have to move Rakir up and then charge him, because Rakir is too far away.
Yeah. I might do that instead. So, 4.
Yep, so move him up.
Cool.
And then charge. So you've got a total of 7 inches. You'll have to come out a little bit wide so you don't clip the forest. But I mean, you'll get in there quite easily. Now, you don't want to get too close to Cavato, because if you get within 2 inches of him, you're going to be in his close combat.
I just want to get within 1 inch
Of Gloom, so you don't even have to go that far.
Probably just go to here.
Yep. Move that away for you. So charging up to there, a little bit closer. Yep, so that's within 1 inch.
Yeah, and then.
So you've got 7. So yep, count out your 7.
Yep.
Minus 4 off that, which will leave you with 3.
Yep.
Plus 2 for your charging. Now, what you're really hoping for here is a critical. A critical will kill Gloom. Okay, you've got a solid, and you can poison him. So how much is your solid?
3.
3 damage. So it would leave him on 1 hitbox. You've got a choice. You can use your combat maneuver to poison Gloom. And if you chose to use your toxin ability, you'd just outright kill him. Short of that, you could move Gloom
Probably
away from him. You're going to poison Gloom. So what Rakir does is he poisons people. Now poison reduces your melee by 1, your range by 1, your magic by 1. Also the agility by 1. So in this case now because Rakir moved for 1 action and then charged for another 2, he can't perform another attack. But what he can do is spend his fate ability and use this ability called Toxin. What that allows you to do is roll 2d6 and do that amount of damage. Now, because Gloom has 1 hit point left, doesn't matter what you roll, even if you were to roll Snake Eyes, you can roll the dice if you like. 8, that's going to kill Gloom.
Yay.
Gloom is dead. For that, you get back a fate. So you get 1 fate for killing Gloom. So she's earned her point back. What else she earns? She also gets level 2 for Rakir. So level 2 Rakir means his hit points are increased, plus it gives him an extra ability.
Yep. Escape.
Yes, the dice are very strong with Beck.
Thanks, guys.
That was the other thing you could have done too, was push Gloom into Rakir and into Kavado, and then Kavado would have taken a hit. But it was probably better to kill Gloom and get the level from that. Now you can Gloom is a mobile shop, so we could have spent the fate and gotten an extra item. In this game, we're not playing with items, so but that's something to keep in mind for when you are playing. Okay, so Rakir's gone. That gets Rakir to level 2, which is quite nice. There's one other thing you would like to do with Rakir before you end his turn.
Oh, place a shadow orb.
So, placing a shadow orb. What shadow orbs allow Rakir to do is teleport around the map. You probably want to put it out, actually, somewhere out there. Because you go within base to base of it. So it means you can go right out here and then charge straight through this area.
Okay.
That being said, you could put it in the forest, but if you put it in the forest, when you're charging through a forest, you've got less movement. Restricts you a little bit. Just things to watch for. I'll put the shrine back, because Gloom's now gone. We can't see him and no more. My next move is then going to be with Sane. Sane is a speedy little elf. She is movement 5. She's got a lot of movement. She's going to spend one action to move up to here. Now, Soul Gazers, this is the nice thing about Soul Gazers, they've got a 4-inch reach to the soul, so they don't have to be close to the soul. They can be some distance away and reeve it up, whereas other characters like Rakir and Kavado have to be within 2 inches. So currently no one's contesting the soul, except for, well, Sane would contest it if she was within 2 inches, but in this case, if nobody else gets close, she's got the a good likelihood of picking up that soul. One other thing I am going to do is cast an ability for her, which is called Augury. That allows her to re-roll a single dice, which can be quite handy when you're trying to pick up a soul. And I'll get into how we pick up a soul once that comes around. I have finished with Sane. That's all I wish to do for her.
Okay.
Who would you like to activate next?
Probably Cruel. Yeah.
Level 2 Rakir is never a bad decision.
Yeah, I like him. Interesting. Can I just have the 4?
You may, yes.
Okay. Sorry, just measuring out this.
Trying to get an idea of where you can get to.
Yep.
So, beautiful thing about this game is you can pre-measure as much as you like. You can even put down tokens, such as these that we've been provided by George, to see where your base would come to, and really get an idea of the path that you can follow. So with Cruel, once again, he's a Soul Gazer as well, so he only has to be 4 inches away from the soul to be able to pick it up. So first action.
Yep. Move.
Gonna move 4 inches. Yep. Second action. Going to move another 4 inches.
Yep, actually.
Now you can actually use the shorter stick to move yourself 2 inches. And then 2 inches again. And that just helps you get around obstacles easier, which is quite nice. So there. So that's 2 actions. Yeah. Now, because we're not using items, unfortunately his ability, Null Magic, is not as useful as it could be. Next time I do a demonstration game with Beck, we'll have items to show off for you guys.
I think I'll just wait here.
Yep, so you're well within 4 of that. That's a good move. Okay, I've got Piper to activate next. One of Piper's abilities is he's a cheeky little rogue. He's got Mystic Step. This is an innate ability for him, but so before he even activates, he can be placed 2 inches in any direction he likes. So in this case, we'll move forward. Now I've got lava in here, and I don't want to really hit the lava, so I'm going to use the 2-inch widget to move Piper around. Now Piper, like Astariel, they're both elves. He's got 5 inches of movement. So I'm going to do 3 inches up to here. And 2 inches up to here. That's one action. I am then going to move an extra 5, well, not a total of 5 inches, but 4 inches up to the shrine there for my second action. And then with my last action, he's got an ability that he can spend 1 action for called Duplicate Self. This means any first attack against him misses, essentially. Ignores the next basic enemy attack. So, for example, Thrommel's Hammer. Can't hit me with Thrommel's Hammer because it costs. It will Duplicate Self will take the hit for that one. However, that does not affect abilities like Rakir's Toxin. So if Piper was poisoned and Rakir's within an inch, Duplicate Self means absolutely nothing to him. That being said, Piper's got to be poisoned for that. Anyway, that's Piper. So it'll be on to you now.
Kel's asked, which character would you date and why?
Which character would I date and why? Sane. She's a pretty elf. Her backstory is quite cool. She's a bit of a badass. And if I was going to guess, Chunky, he would date Thulgar. For sure. He loves that gore thrust. Can't get enough of it.
Oh god.
Yeah. So you've got Thrommel left. Now, currently I am contesting the shrine.
You are.
So if you don't get Thrommel within 2 inches, I will get D3 fate.
Can't have that.
No, can't have that at all.
Oh, and what about me? Who would I date and why? That's a good question.
You haven't seen all the characters yet.
No, I only know these guys.
You only know the sort of starting wave 1 ones.
Yeah.
There are quite a lot of others. There's a very dapper android named Styx. He's got a top hat and everything.
Oh,
He's
gosh.
a cyborg. Sorry, not an android. He's a cyborg.
I really like Don Ricard.
Don Ricard.
He's just a badass.
He's a badass. He's got beefy muscles and
Yeah.
attracted to that.
Well.
I don't have big muscles. What are you talking about? A lot of fat.
You. Okay.
I need some of Don Ricard's 10-minute rock hard abs. That's what I need.
Gosh, what's happening, Murray? Okay. I'm just
okay, so Tort said if you were going to pick a model that's most resembling Murray, it would be Cavato.
Yeah. See, you've even got the thing coming out of your stomach on your shirt now, right now.
No, I don't.
Aw.
Okay, so Thrommel's a bit of a fatty.
Big fat dwarf.
He's a big fat dwarf. He only moves 3.
Oh.
So he's not going to be able to charge and attack Piper anyway because he's not going to be in range.
I don't have Legolas to throw me.
You don't have Legolas to throw you? No, you do not.
Okay. What's my 2 inches? Oops.
It's alright.
Where?
So, yeah, well...
Okay.
Yeah, so you weren't going to reach with charging him up. I kind of made sure of that. I don't want to get hit by Thrommel first up. That would be nasty.
Okay.
Because knowing you, you'd roll a crit.
Yep.
However, you should be able to get in range of the shrine quite easily.
2 inches?
2 inches, you can be right up to it, or you can just be near it within 2, as long as you're within 2. That's fine.
And because the shrine's there, if I'm on this side of it, does that mean that it's in the way and you don't directly hit me if you try to have a go?
If I try to charge you, I've got to charge in a straight line, which I'm a little bit behind the shrine there on purpose. So, I mean, I'd have to... if I get a...
Because I could move that way a bit more.
If I had to charge in a straight line, I'd have to charge that direction. If you can actually draw the line from my base, I'd end up out here. So this is where proxy models are handy. So if I was to charge, I could only go out to here, which means I'm not going to be within 1 inch of you. I can't get within 1 inch. Okay. So Piper can't charge from there. That being said, Piper has that Mystic Step ability, which allows him to move out 2 inches from where he's currently standing. And then he could charge you. Short of that, he could also move and then charge you. So you're not really hidden from Piper. That being said, he doesn't like really going after big, heavy dudes. He can't do a great deal to them. But hey, he's there. Okay. So did you end up within 2 of the shrine?
I did.
You did? Cool. So that's the first turn. That's all our models are activated. Now a couple of things happen. So in our communion phase, our first thing that happens normally, if you've got a Minotaur, is regeneration. Or you can buy an item that gives you regeneration, much like a Minotaur. None of our characters have regeneration, so we're not going to be healing. Next thing that happens is the souls will move, but we don't have any souls yet on the table. So no souls are moving. Next thing after that is monsters will move. You killed the monster, so there's no monster on the table. After that, we generate fate. Now, no one's got any souls, so one way you generate fate is if you're holding onto a soul, you get a fate. Or if you're holding onto the shrine, you also get fate. We are both contesting the shrine, so none of us are going to get fate for the shrine. We are, however, going to move on to the next step, which is we get a fate each for turn 2. So turn 2 comes around, we get 1 fate each for turn 2. And that's it. So turn 1 and turn 2, you get a fate just for coming along and participating. After that, you're on your own. You got to find your own fate and generate your own fate. See what I did there? And sigh audibly for the microphone.
Yes.
Okay. Last thing is we then spawn a soul. So we spawn a soul in the location. Could just flip this over. I didn't. Next thing we're going to have is a token come out. This is where the monster's going to spawn next turn. So right in front of Rakir if he's not careful. And with that, it's back over to my first turn. So I get to go first.
Are you going to try and pick up the soul?
I think I might. Now, Rakir's only level 1. So he's not currently contesting the soul, because I believe that's his level 2.
Rakir's level 2.
Yeah, sorry, not Rakir. Cruel.
Yeah.
Level 2. I'm going to try and get this soul before Beck does, because otherwise she's just going to get ahead of me quite badly. And that's something I fear. So I'm going to use Sand. She's going to try to pick up the soul. Now, her soul harvest, which is something I didn't go through, which is actually on the cards. Her soul harvest is 6. Now, you can get bonuses with assists. If Cavado, for me, was within 2 of the soul, I would get an assist of Cavado, which means I'd have a soul harvest of effectively 7. Or if there's an enemy nearby, it reduces it for each enemy that's close by. So if Rakir was close to the soul, I'd effectively have a soul harvest of 5. So what you do is you take your soul harvest, you add it to your 2d6 dice roll, and you're looking for 12. So in this case, with Saiyan, I need a 6. And I have just rolled a 7. So I picked that up with the greatest of ease, which happens with Saiyan. She's really good at soul harvesting, much like Crawl.
Yeah.
So Saiyan is currently holding onto that soul. I'll put that just down here, and I will remember that one. She has 1 action left. Costs you 2 actions to harvest that soul, much like it does cost you 2 actions to charge. What I'm going to do with my last action is I'm not going to upkeep Augury. That's going to fall away. And I'm going to run away a little bit in this direction and just see if I can be protected by dear sweet Cavado.
Wuss.
Wuss, yes, that's exactly right. I am a wuss. And now, if you haven't watched our stream before, we have a soul counter. So, my souls go up by 1. I am currently in the lead. 1 soul. That's Saiyan's turn over. I'll stop rubbing it in, and you may now activate. What would you like to do? What would you like to activate first? Got a couple of options here. Keep in mind, Piper's still got duplicate self up.
So, if I used a movement to like move through here, and then head a toe out of the forest, could I attack you?
You can. It would be effectively like walking. So you don't get the extra 2 dice for the charge. Now, Piper is agility 5 to your 7.
Yeah.
Which means you only get 2 dice on Piper. Piper is hard to hit. That being said, if you do hit Piper with a charge, you do a lot of damage. Now, Piper is towing the forest there, so you can see him. So you can charge him.
I think I might charge you. So,
yep. So now, note, this is where it's important.
You have the duplicate self.
Duplicate self. So your first attack is going to mean absolutely nothing. Which means your second attack, you're only going to get 2 dice. And being able to poison with 2 dice is not likely. We have a very important question on the stream.
What?
Which character would win against Thanos?
Does Strax's soul count for a soul stone? Because then he's not so powerful.
Oh yeah, just do soul gazers. That's a good question back. Do soul gazers effectively grab soul stones? Anyway, sorry. Moving on. As Tort has pointed out, charging Cavado would be a better option.
Yeah. But then I'm very close to Saiyan.
You are, but Saiyan's already activated. She can't go this turn. So she's not really someone you got to worry too much about.
Okay. Do you have the... Oh no, I do. But... Oh, it's within that anyway.
Piper would effectively work as well as Loki did, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I'm going to charge Cavado.
Charging Cavado. Okay, so you have to be within an inch. So would you like to just charge straight ahead, straight onto him, or would you like to come out wider?
I want to come out wider, so I'm closer to
Saiyan?
Saiyan.
So you can charge out quite some distance because you've got 7. So you get to something like that. If you're happy with that, you can bring him back a little bit if you wanted to.
Grr.
And turning to face, yeah, that's a good move.
Alright.
Okay, so Cavado is an agility of 4.
Thank you.
How many dice do you have to begin with?
I need 7.
So you got 7 dice.
-4.
Mm-hmm.
+2.
Yep. So 5 dice. Now this is a better chance of rolling a poison. Well, now you haven't done it. You do have fate. You could spend a fate to re-roll the dice and try your luck again.
All the dice?
All the dice, yeah.
Okay.
You have to roll all the dice.
Okay.
Yep. So you still got a fate left over to really do some damage. Hoping for that poison. You do have it. So what the 3 that you would take would be those 3. So you've got 2 damage onto Cavato, which puts him down to 14 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't kill him, but you do poison.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you wish, you can spend the 2d6 and the fate and do as much damage to him as possible.
I still wouldn't kill you though with the
You're not
maximum damage.
Not gonna kill me, but it could be worth putting some hurt down.
Yeah.
Or you can choose to hold off on it for another chance at doing something else.
Probably I'll attack you.
Spend the fate?
Yeah.
I think that's not a bad idea. 2d6, rolling 8. 8 damage to Cavato. Leaving him on 6 hit boxes left.
Mm-hmm.
And he's poisoned. So he's hurting quite a bit. Okay, who do I want to activate next? Hello, beautiful people, and Murray. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, I'm going to risk it for the biscuit. I'm going to activate Piper. Duplicate self is going to go away. He's going to use his Mystic Step to come closer. Then he's going to use his first action to charge Rakir, which he's got 8. Sorry, he's got double that movement to get there. He's going to be fine. Sorry, he's got less than... no, he does have Pathfinder, doesn't he? So, yeah, Piper being an elf, he's got Pathfinder, so he ignores the forest. And I'm just going to stay an inch out. Just move that a little bit that way, just so that he's going to spawn in the middle there, but we know that. So I'm an inch away there with Piper. Okay, now this is where adding up the dice becomes important. Okay, so Piper is 6, so he's not as high as Rakir is. Rakir is
4.
agility 4, so it gives me 2 dice. I get an extra die for having Cavato close by, which gives me to 3. And then I get an extra 2 for the charge, so I have 5 dice as well. So with the dagger, I'll take that. So I do a solid. Now Piper does +1 damage if there's another friendly model engaged. So with his dagger, he's going to do 4 damage to Rakir.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's going to stay there. I don't think he effectively needs to move. -2 dice. Now I can choose to use my second attack, or I could duplicate self again and try to protect Piper a little bit, which I might do. I'll use my last action to duplicate self. Okay, That's Piper done. I have Cavado left, so keep that one in mind. You've got both Cruel and Thrommel. So you could charge Piper with Cruel, but it's once again, duplicate self makes that rather frustrating. That being said, you might be able to free it up for Rakir next turn. Keeping in mind though that I'm still going first, so I could choose to use Piper first.
Because I can't get through.
Also, important point to remember is the monster is spawning here next at the start of the turn. First thing the monster's going to do is hit Piper and remove duplicate self. As Tort's pointed out. Well done, Tort. Thank you for that. And effectively open that up for Rakir, perhaps, next turn.
Does the soul respawn here?
The soul will be there as well next turn, so you'd also get that for Cruel.
So I could just move closer to Rakir and give him assist then.
You could move closer to Rakir. You may not want to get in range of anyone, but you could. You could effectively come in range of Cavado. Keep in mind, Cruel also has a ranged attack, and Sane's not currently in melee. So if you can, and you can move up, you could move up to there.
And just go, pew.
Pew, and shoot Sane.
Alright.
You won't be able to suck out the soul that she's currently holding because you don't have any fate left over, but that's not too much of a problem because Thrommel could possibly get the D3 fate next turn.
Oops.
So you're going to move up 4?
Yep.
And do you want to move up 4 again? Or you don't have to move up the full distance if you want to shoot Saiyan. Keep in mind you'll only have probably 1 dice. I think you're magic 6. You might be magic 7.
I'm magic 7.
7? Oh, you'd have 2 dice. But you might do some damage on her.
Yeah, I think
it's not a bad idea. So, effectively, you could go...
Just go here.
There. I'll take that out for you. Yep.
Cool.
So, you're magic 7. And let me just double check that with saying, yes, she is Agi 5. The elves have a high agility, which makes them harder to hit. That being said, they've got a lower health pool, so it doesn't take as long to kill them. Okay, so you do max damage anyway. That you can do.
Which is...
This is a solid. 3 damage?
Oh, solid's 2.
2.
For Bewitched, that's the range. The
yes, that is.
Yep,
2
so
damage?
2.
Putting her down to 11 hitboxes. Sorry, 12 hitboxes, because she's level 2. Okay, that's Cruel done. I've only got Cavado left. So I've got Fate. I'm going to use a Fate to get rid of Poison. So that Poison goes away, leaving me with 1 Fate left over. Saiyan is awesome.
Saiyan's my favourite.
Saiyan, yeah. I thought Rakir was your favourite.
No,
Ooh.
Saiyan is.
Saiyan is, okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so Cavado is normally 6 dice. He's going to hit Rakir. Normally 6 dice, minus 4 for Rakir. But I get +1 for Piper. So 3 dice. First hit. Ooh. So that does 2 damage. But you're poisoned.
You poisoned the poisoner.
Poison the poisoner. Ah, take that, Rakir. Because you're poisoned, I get +1 dice. So my second attack is going to be 4 dice. Ooh. Ooh. Doing another 3 damage. And then I'm going to use his mind control to make Piper hit you, much like the same way Thrommel does. So Piper is normally 6, -4, +1 for Gavado, +1 for poison. Oh, it's a crit. And for Piper, that's 5 damage. How many boxes does he have left?
1.
1 box left! I left him on 1 hit point. Ah! So close to getting rid of him. Oh, that would have been amazing. And that would have been on 2 souls. But it's not to be. Alright.
Okay.
It's alright. Rakir's not looking very good. I'm happy with that. You got Thrommel left. Thrommel has a choice.
Stay for the fate.
Well, yeah, you probably want to move him up a little bit closer anyway.
Mm.
So that he can get in range to charge someone at an opportune moment. But the D3 fate, you really need it because I'm going to get 1 fate.
Okay,
And
3.
you're going to need it to probably heal Rakir a little bit, maybe.
How close can you be? 2.
You got to be just 2 inches away from it.
Hmm.
Hello, welcome to the stream. Okay, so is that where you're going to end for Thrommel?
Because I could just go into the forest, right?
You could. You minus your movement by 1 inch. So he's a bit slower moving through the forest. He'd only be a 2-inch move. But you can go through the forest, and it means you can see people out the other side of it. So, for example, well, even where you're standing right now, Cavado's in charge distance, which is nice.
Okay.
So you're happy with that there?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. All right. End of the round. Hello, welcome, Chicago. Geez, that's early in the morning.
Morning.
Good morning, and welcome. So we're playing Judgement. If you would like some more information on it, I will click up a link in just a moment. I'll click up a link in a moment where you can learn more about the game. Was it Play J? I think it's that. Yeah. So here you can effectively learn a bit more about the game and what we're playing. Anyway, moving on. So that's the end of that round. We're going to have, first things first, souls move. There are no souls because Sand's currently holding on to it. Monsters move. There are no monsters. We then generate fate. I'm going to get 1 fate because I'm holding onto a soul. Beck is holding, and the only one contesting, a shrine. You're going to get D3. So roll a dice. She's going to get 3 fate because she rolled a 6. Of course, Beck rolls a 6 for everything she does. Okay. Monsters are now... the soul will spawn. So we've got a new soul popping up right here.
Woo.
And then the monster's going to spawn. And displace just a little bit. Now, the monster has spawned within an inch of Piper. He's going to hit Piper. He's going to roll all his dice. Now, normally, Gloom is 8, and he comes back on full health. So he's got 8 boxes. Normally he's 8 minus 5 is 3 dice.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't matter what you roll. It's all going to come off duplicate self.
Okay.
So duplicate self is going to go away, which means Piper is now vulnerable to an attack. And we move on to the start of the next turn. Now I've got a very important decision to make. I can maybe try to kill Gloom because that's nasty. I could use Cavado maybe to kill Rakir and get that out of my hair, which wouldn't be too bad. That being said, Cruel is right next to a soul. He can quite easily grab that soul and then shoot Saiyan, because Saiyan was in range of 6 inches, which means he could actually reave that soul off me too, which would leave me quite vulnerable. So, I mean, I could try to go after Cruel. I don't have much in the way of choices. I am going to activate Piper, I think. And Piper's still within 1 inch of Rakir. He's going to attack Rakir. I'm sorry, sweetie.
No, you're not.
Yeah, a little bit. This is the risk that you take with Rakir. It's unfortunate. So I'm 6 dice base. I get -4. +1 for Cavado. -1 for Gloom. But I get +1 then for you're still poisoned, so I get 3 dice.
Blanks.
Looking for a hit. That's it.
I think I'm dead.
So that does a total of 3 damage, which kills Rakir, which now means Piper is holding on to a soul, and I go up to 2 souls with our little soul counter at the top, as soon as I work that properly. Oops. Wrong side. Nope. I've done that wrong. That's better.
Drink.
Okay. Tort, there's a drink for you. Drink. Okay. So. Now, stupidly, I didn't use Mystic Step, but I was just going to kill Rakir anyway. Now, Rakir is actually technically off the board, because he can't come back this turn. He's going to come back next turn. Now, I've used 1 attack, and I've got Gloom in my face, and I don't really want to be here. So I'm going to attack Gloom. Piper goes up a level for killing Rakir. So he's now level 2. I am 6 versus Gloom's 4, so I've only got 2 dice, but I'm hoping I can pull off something here. Anything? Nope, I've rolled 2 blanks. I've got 1 action left. I'm in big trouble. I have to try and hit him again. Because if I duplicate myself... Actually, even if I move out 2 inches... No, if I move out 2 inches, he will not hit me. I gotta get 2 symbols. Looking for 2 symbols on 2 dice. 2 blanks, because that's how I roll dice. Then Becca laughs at me. Okay, so Gloom's gonna hit me back, and this is probably going to hurt.
Can I roll them?
Oh, certainly, no, by all means.
Yay.
You roll the dice.
Cool.
Okay, so Gloom is 8. -5.
2, 4, 6, 8.
5 is the agility for Piper. Okay, so you're rolling 3 dice. And you do this minimum damage.
3.
Which is 3. Leaving Piper on 11 hitboxes. That's Piper done. Okay, so I've done 1 character. It is now your turn. You have Unfortunately, only 2 models left to activate. But it does mean you'll be going first next turn.
Cool.
So the way this works is just back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Whoever has the second last turn obviously goes first on the next turn.
I'm going to try and pick up the soul.
Try to pick up the soul with Cruel.
Where are the...
Not a bad idea. There's the dice. Now, Gloom is not contesting it. And your soul gaze is 6. You need to get to 12, so you need to roll a 6. Yeah,
Yay.
roll a 9, sure, why not? Okay.
And...
So, you have got 1 soul, and I have 2. Now you've got 1 action left. Which, I believe you were still in range of Sane.
But Kavada only has 6 points.
But you could strip one of my souls.
Oh yeah, because I'm cruel.
Because you're cruel.
Okay, I think.
Sorry, let me just double check that ability. I believe it's just something within 6. I believe that's right. I'm going off my memory here. Yeah, because it's someone that you've hit with Bewitched, which is fine. So, you will be 2, and I'm 5. 2 dice. All you need to do is roll damage, which you've done, which is 2 damage, I believe, with Bewitched.
Solid?
No. Glance.
1.
1 point of damage to Sane, which puts her down to 11 hit points, so she's getting towards the low side as well. Now what you can do is use your fate. So if you want to read your card...
Extract soul.
Extract soul. Would you like to read that one out?
1 soul bound to target enemy model, just damaged by Bewitched attack, becomes an unbound and moves D3 directly towards this model.
So, you can spend a fate, if you wish, which I'd suggest doing.
Yeah.
And put my soul right there. So that effectively will mean I am now on 1 soul. You gonna spend your fate to do that?
I will.
Yep, cool. Now, roll a dice as well.
1?
Yep.
D3. Okay.
1, so that moves
2.
1 inch toward you.
Oh, yeah.
But effectively, it's now within your 4 inch for next turn.
Okay.
But I haven't activated Saiyan yet, so I may need to pick that soul back up. Now, all I've activated so far is Piper. And I think I will try to activate Saiyan next. So, I'm going to try to pick up that soul again. I think. Kavado's also within 2 inches of it. So I'd only need a 5. No, so you're level 2 now. So what's your level 2 ability?
Oh, yeah.
That's right. Thank you, Talk. I take an extra damage from... So Sane is now on 10 damage. So Cruel, when he's holding a soul, does an extra 1 point of damage to people.
Bewitched. Ah, cool. So soul distortion. Enemy models suffer -1 penalty to their soul harvest attempts on souls that are within 6 inches of this model. This stacks with the standard modifiers. Therefore, if this model is within 2 inches of a soul, enemy models will incur a -2 penalty.
So it's a -1 penalty?
-1, yeah.
So, effectively I'm currently 5, but with Cruel so close, I'm 6. So I'm back to 6. I need to roll a 6.
Just.
Which you believe I just did. Only just. I rolled just a 6. So she picks that soul back up again, which takes her now to level 3. And she's got one action left. She's going to move up to crawl. Within an inch. She can't attack him. I don't know if that's actually a wise move.
No.
No, not so. I'll do it anyway.
He has to go first anyway, so he'd have to go after you do something.
Yep. No, so he doesn't have to go first in your next turn.
Oh, I thought he did.
No, does not have to go first.
Oh, I
Anyway.
just have to go first.
You go first.
Cool. Okay.
Because with the way this is going to work, you're going to have your action, and then you've only got Thrommel left. I've still got Kavada to go. So it just goes back and forth. So when I finish activating Kavada, the next turn will essentially begin, and I was the last person to move a model, so then you will be the starting player.
Oh, but I thought I had to use him first as my start.
No, you don't have to. No, he just comes out.
Okay.
So, Thrommel looks like he's in pretty good charging range of Cruel there. We have a new follower! Thanks for the follow. So, Thrommel's got a 2-inch reach, so he's not really worried about the forest so much, but he does want to stay an inch away from Piper.
Okay.
You might even be able to do it so that... I was going to say, you might even be able to do it so that you're still within 2 of the shrine. Because effectively...
Gotta have faith,
not
faith,
just
faith.
out. But it was a good thought.
Dang it. Okay. Anyway, yes, I will charge Kavado.
Charging Kavado?
And hit you with my hammer.
Yep, so you want to stay out just wide of an inch of Piper there, so he can't give any support. Sorry. So effectively your charge is 6 actually, so but you've got 2 inches, so you've got plenty of room.
Yeah.
And plenty of space. It's just you want to sort of come up somewhere roughly there. And staying out of an inch of Kavado, but still being within 2 of Piper is good. Okay. Yeah, your 6 dice base, minus 4 for Kavado.
Plus 2.
Plus 2 for the charge, that's right. Looking for sort of any sort of damage here would be nice. Do you get anything for Piper? No. No, because Piper is not within an inch.
Okay.
Because his reach is only... He's got a short little reach. He's got little arms.
Aw.
You do have 2 fate. You could choose to re-roll it, but you do damage. And what is your glance on Thrommel? Because he does quite a lot of damage.
Glance is 4.
So you do 4 damage to Kavado, which would take him down to 2 hit points. You then also have another ability with Thrommel. The one that costs you a fate.
Hammer time.
What does Hammer Time do?
So when this model damages an enemy model within a Warhammer with a Warhammer attack, it may immediately spend a fate to trigger Hammer Time. Why do I always say it that way? Which inflicts D3 damage, ignoring res, and applies a knockdown condition. Same enemy model.
So you've got 2 choices, and you've got 2 fate.
I think I'll do that anyway.
So you could re-roll it if you wanted to, though it is only 4 dice, and do that little bit more damage. Because if you do the damage now, you will do 4 damage to him, leaving him on 2 hit boxes, which means you need a 3+ on a d6, which you could choose to re-roll that too.
I think I'll just do that. So 4 now.
4 damage now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And leaving him on 2 hit boxes. Actually, yes, and then D3. So, which you roll a 6, and you kill Kavado.
Woo! And I get a soul.
You get a soul. So, sorry, I got a soul before for...
picking it up again.
For picking it up again. But you also get a soul for killing Kavado. Now Kavado can't activate. Because Kavado hasn't activated, I'm now going to go first.
Dang it!
was a problem, but I mean, it's not a bad one. Honestly, it's not. As you'll see here. So I finished. You're finished. It's currently 2 souls apiece. Close game. First up, souls will move. There are no souls to move. Monsters will activate. Would you like to roll for Gloom? Gloom would normally move D3 toward the nearest hero, but he's already within base to base with Piper, so he's not going to go anywhere else.
What's your...
He is 5.
Yeah.
So -3. So this could hurt. Piper's on 11 health.
-5. So 3.
Yes, that's right. So a glance. Half of the dice.
It is 3.
Still 3 damage. That leaves him on 8 hitboxes left. That's not much. That's not much. Thrommel Hammer can
throttle you.
Yes, he can. That being said, within that range, he would only get 1 dice. Because I'm 5 and he's 6. So, but I mean, at glance and then damage, it would still hurt. Okay, so the monster has activated. We now generate fate. I'm going to get 2. You are also going to get 2. You've got one just right next to you there. We'll grab that one.
2?
Yep, because you've got 2 souls. Because Cruel's got a soul and Thrommel has a soul. So, forget that. No one's banked any souls yet. Now, Sane's got 1 and Piper currently has the other on my team. Soul is going to spawn in the middle here. Soul back. Now, our characters come back touching the effigy. So they can even go in front. Don't forget. They don't need to go behind the line. So we can go in front of the line here and be ready.
On guard.
To do things. Okay. Piper's in trouble. Piper's in a bit of trouble. So I've got first move. I could try to go for the soul. But it's that's a risk, and plus leaves other people to attack me, which would be nasty. Yeah, that's certainly one way of doing it, Tort. Okay. I don't know how I'm going to protect Piper. I can mage step him out, but then what am I effectively going to do? Maybe charge Cruel. I'm not going to be able to do much against Thrommel. Thrommel's too big and too heavy.
Can you charge me though? I think you're too close.
I am technically too close, but Piper has the ability called Mystic Step.
Does that
which
go
allows
through
me...
stuff?
No. So effectively, what
You're
I can do is move away though.
Then you'd be behind Saiyan.
I am going to be behind Saiyan, but I don't have to move the full 2 inches because I've only got to move just out of 1 inch of wherever he calls himself, Gloom. So effectively, I'm going to start it off with 1 inch, and I do have to go in the same direction. So I should still technically be within 1 inch there, which I am. So I'm just going to move an extra sort of ½ inch in the same direction to there. So I am out of Gloom's 1 inch and out of your 2 inches. Now I can start my turn. And I will charge Cruel with Piper. Piper's just going to go within 1 inch. Round to there. I'm getting pretty close to Gloom there. I want to stay out of Gloom. Go away, Gloom. Yeah, that'll be just fine. Okay. So Piper's charged. Piper is effectively 6.
-4.
4.
+1.
+2 for the charge. I don't get a bonus for saying. I don't. Oh no, I do because it's melee of an inch.
Is she in an inch though?
She should be. Yes, she is. Yep. Yeah, I believe I get the extra because her magic counts as a melee, not like Astariel where she doesn't. Yeah, right now I need 8s to get the soul, which wasn't looking good. Okay, so attacking Cruel with Piper. Ooh, and I've done a crit, which is a nasty bit of business. Where's Piper? So that will be 5 damage to Cruel. Tort's ready to drink for another stuff up. I'm going to -2 now off the charge, so I don't have that. And I'm going to roll 3 dice. And so that was that one. And do another solid, which is 4 damage. That's all Piper can do. Unfortunately, I didn't roll enough symbols to put up duplicate self, which is what I was kind of hoping. Oh well. Dems the brakes. So, it's your turn.
He has 11 left?
He has 8 left.
Okay.
Cavato has 11. Saiyan has 11. Now, you got a couple of options.
Shadow Step
Costs you 1 action.
Oh. Oh, you can immediately come up for free. Okay.
But you could then make an attack after that. That being said, you would have 2 dice against Piper. Not good odds. That being said, he's only got 8 hitboxes left. What you could do is charge with Thrommel into him. Hope you move him.
Gloom?
No, Piper. Move Piper into Gloom. Have Gloom hit him. So I use Gloom to your advantage.
I'll probably charge with Thrommel now that I... But then I'll be right next. Oh no.
Well, you can be 2 inches away.
Yeah.
So, and he's only got he's effectively only got an inch, a reach of 1 inch. So if you put that sort of there, you can charge your model anywhere out this way, and effectively be. Like you could even get to there somewhere.
Yeah.
Effectively do that. Don't forget the effigy. You've got 2 souls. You'd need an 8, so you can't kill it.
Aren't you there though?
Yes, and I'd reduce your dice. Yeah, no, you can't kill it at this stage with Thrommel. But you'd be close to. You might be able to move Rakir, Piper into Gloom with Rakir.
I think I'm just going to charge with Thrommel.
Yeah, you got a few options. Charge with Thrommel?
2 inches this way.
So you're just going to be effectively there. Charge across in the straightest line as possible.
Oh, you bumped
I just bumped you and I bumped myself.
Okay.
Go. So 6 -5 +2.
None of these guys count.
No, sorry, you do.
I do,
Yeah, it does. Yes, so +1 for Cruel, of course. Sorry.
Oops, that doesn't count.
4 dice.
Oh.
That's still big numbers. So that is
solid.
Yep.
5.
Jeez.
And do hammer time.
Hammer time. So I've got 3 hit points left. You need a 5 or a 6 to kill him.
Oh.
You could choose to re-roll it with a fate.
I think I will. I'm not using this.
Mm-hmm.
3. Yeah.
2 damage. That leaves him on 1 hitbox.
Mm.
Which means someone else can kill him.
Yeah.
Quite easily. Now you've got... No, that's it because you charged.
Yeah.
So that's all your actions. Oh, okay, that's bad.
Hammer time.
33.13% of a crit with 4 dice. Which she managed to do a solid, which is still good. Still a lot of damage. It still hurt. It's left him on 1 hit box. I'm not looking good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to activate Saiyan. Well, I'm going to put down Augury.
Oh.
And I'm going to try and go for the soul. At the moment, Cruel negs 2. So I'm down to 4. But I get +1 with Piper. And nothing with that.
So 5.
5. Hello and welcome to our stream. I am trying to soul harvest. Hopefully. I've only got a 6. I'll use Augury. And I'm going to re-roll that 2. And I'm going to hope that I roll higher. Well, higher than a 2. I don't! I don't do it! I rolled a 5! That's all Saiyan can do. Well, that was bad. That was really bad. That's how you don't soul harvest. Oh, sorry, that's over to you.
Oh, you used Augury.
I used Augury, so I've got no actions left.
Might as well just kill Piper.
You could win the game right now.
Collect. Or kill Piper.
Collect and kill Piper.
Mm.
He's got 1 hit point.
I'm gonna pick up the soul.
Pick up the soul. Now. Piper's within.
Mm-hmm.
So it's -1. So you'll need a 7 as well.
7.
Just roll a 7. See if I
so
can.
I'm level 3.
Yes, you're level 3.
Hooray.
Okay, so Beck is now... Oops, no, that's me. There we go. 3 souls to 2. You've got 1 action left.
I'm gonna attack Piper.
You're going to attack Piper. So you have your 6, I believe, with your cudgel.
Mm-hmm.
-5. You get no other bonuses. So 1 dice. Looking for a... No. Reroll. GG, thank you very much, Becca. The handshake goes down. 4 souls to 2.
Woo.
And Becca kicked my butt. I could use some fate. So yeah, that's the game. Becca won by killing Piper. Blech. Actually, no, sorry. I am incorrect. That is 4 souls to 1 because Piper drops his soul.
Hooray.
That he is carrying. And that is it. That is the game. That's essentially how you play Judgment. Beck, once again, did very well. Her dice were in her favour. Being relatively new to the game, Beck, is there something that you enjoy about the game? Something that you really like about it?
I do like that when you have characters that are the same race, they have very similar stats.
Yep.
So it's easy to know, like, you've got 4 movement and 4 agility.
Yep.
With 2 orcs, for example.
Yeah.
I find that really good, and like how well the characters actually work together.
Yeah, so the races between each one, All dwarves have basically 3 movement and 3 agility. All orcs have 4 movement, 4 agility. Same with minotaurs, they have 4 and 4. Elves are normally quick and speedy, so they've got 5 and 5. Dwarves make up for it by having more res and generally more hitboxes and other spooky abilities that they do. So yeah, it does make the game simple to wrap your head around some of the basic stat lines, which is good. If there was something you could say that you don't like about the game, would there be anything that you can think of?
I think it's actually more of a learning thing, and playing more is understanding the like the terrain and how it affects you, because like it was confusing having like a toe in, and then like I didn't know I could see people with just a toe in, whereas I couldn't see them if I was just outside and there.
So the terrain is a little bit trickier to wrap your head around, which makes sense because each bit of terrain has its own properties. So walls, you can't move over a wall unless you've got at least 3 inches of movement, which is effectively the base. That's just so the base doesn't land on the thing. And you should have had more dice too, by the way. Tort raised a good point. Piper was knocked down due to hammer time.
Oh.
So you would have he was effectively agility 2 instead of agility 5. So you probably would have done it on the first hit. You won either way, but effectively you should have had more dice. Yeah, sorry, getting back to the terrain. Yeah, each bit has its own sort of properties. So forests you can't see directly through. However, if you toed in on it, you can see through it and people can see you. But I mean, if you're shooting at someone with a ranged weapon, effectively it counts as like a soft cover.
Pew pew.
Then you've got stuff like the treacherous terrain, which negates 2 of your movement and also does 2 damage. So there is a bit to learn when it comes to the terrain aspect of the game, but it's not too much. It's no more than what most tabletop games are. But for a new player, Beck, you have not played a tabletop game like this one before. No. So I never played Warhammer or War Machine or any of those other sort of Guild Ball or any of those other sort of tabletop games. So this is your first. And would you say you're enjoying the game?
I am, yeah.
You're really liking it?
I feel like I'm getting attached to characters.
You're getting attached to characters? Yes. Rakir's an easy one to get attached to.
And Saiyan.
And Saiyan's an easy one to get attached to. Yep, that's all fair. Saiyan should have healed a hit point. That wouldn't have mattered. Yeah. So yeah, liking the game. Anything that well, so you've got your stats are quite simple to learn. Models are absolutely gorgeous, in my opinion. That's one of the things that drew me to the game. Were the models themselves. They're nice and big, and you don't have as many of them, which is nice.
I really like the detail on them, like the out of the box detail, even before they're painted.
Yeah. So the models themselves, I mean, if you look at Ton Rakar here, he's a great example of that. I'll bring it up on the bigger camera for us. He is quite a nice detailed model. That's before I haven't started painting this one yet. Obviously, I've only just coated the base. But they've got a lot of detail on them. They're really nice, really nice models, and they're great fun to paint. And I've particularly enjoyed painting some of them. I've quite enjoyed getting Piper's base done. I mean, I've just enjoyed painting his base. I just realised you can't actually see the
because it's green.
You can't see the vines because I've painted them green and I'm on a green screen. So, woo! Good to know. If you paint any models green, I wonder how Cruel's going to show up actually. Oh no, he's right. He's a bit more of a bluey green, so he's not too bad. Yeah, if you paint models green and you got a green screen behind them, you're going to see through your model. That's it, I think, for the show. Beck, played really well. Well done.
Thank you.
You're getting a lot better at the game as you go on, the more games you play. What's that now? Your 4th win?
Yes.
4 out of 5 games.
I had
She's
one
doing
loss,
quite well.
and that was against Kelly.
1 loss against Kelly. So I'll have to get Kelly on at some point to come defeat me. I'm sure she will. Okay. I think that's it. Thank you very much, guys, for enjoying the stream.
Thanks for having me.
For watching the stream. Oh, thanks for coming along.
That's all right.
We'll catch you guys next week. We're ending a little bit early this week, but that happens.
Because I kicked your butt.
Next week, Chunky will be back, and we'll have a 5v5. Yes, I am ending early because I'm sure Guns is going to rub it in. I'm surprised he hasn't already. Come on, what you doing? What are you doing? I give you every opportunity, and you do not take it. I could scroll back in the chat here. No, you said good game. That was it. Okay. He had his opportunity. He missed it. It flew by. All right. Catch you later, guys.
See you.
Thank you very much for watching. Till next time.